this whole thing started out, it wasn't nothing about media, it wasn't a YouTube channel, it wasn't Instagram, it wasn't podcast, it wasn't anything else besides the fact that I just wanted to roast some good quality coffee on my own.
Anywhere I stood, you were standing by, with me when I'm fine, with me when I'm not.
What's going on, everybody? Rob Pirie here, and today we're going to be, we got like a lot of work to do. But as I often say, actually I never say it, but I'll say it now. No good work goes without coffee. If you want to do good work, you need to drink good coffee. I mean, it's just as simple as that, guys. So today, I know it's a mess in here. This was kind of like my makeshift studio before I made one of the rooms in my house a studio. But anyway, we got the roaster back here, right behind the shop vac. We're going to get it all hooked back up today and do a little test run on it, and hopefully we could have some good coffee. I don't want y'all thinking this is like some weirdness back here. This is actually just like a sound barrier whenever I was heading the studio, but anyway, maybe a little too much information, you know what I mean? So what's gonna be the story here? That's always kind of the hard part of vlogging. I think it's gonna be, don't bite off more than you can chew. It's a common phrase you hear all the time, and I always fall victim to it. Like, I'm kind of that person that has an idea and immediately wants to start it just to find out that I don't have the resources, the time, or the ability to actually complete it. And then usually, on that adventure of doing said thing, I find something else I want to go do, and then all of a sudden I'm running off in that direction, then this direction, back over here. And there was never one focus. There's always multiple focuses, and the one thing that I set out to do never got done. And I think about that a lot. That is one issue that I am self-aware of in my life that I am trying desperately to fix, but it's just one of those things like, how in the heck do you follow one course until success? That's hard. That's really hard to just follow one thing because you get unmotivated at it, so then you pivot, or something happens, you don't have the resources, you realize it's probably going to take maybe months or a year before you get the resources to continue on, so you pivot, and you wind up pivoting so much that you just continuously go in circles because you pivot. So today, I'm like, you know what? This whole thing started out, it wasn't nothing about media, it wasn't a YouTube channel, it wasn't Instagram, it wasn't podcast, it wasn't anything else besides the fact that I just wanted to roast some good quality coffee on my own. So today, we're going to get the coffee roaster set back up. Now, I don't know if I'm ever going to go back in business with it. It's literally one of them things where I can tell you I am, but I truly do not know. But I do know one thing about a coffee roaster. I'm not using it at the moment, which is stupid. So today, we're going to get it set back up. We're going to go back to using it. I want to get to a point where I can do a full roast review on it, give you all the details of Bideli, and just kind of give you an update on where I'm at with it and if I still like it, you know? Do not bite off more than you can chew. Let's go ahead and get this roasted.
And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel
Actually, for example, when I first started roasting, I actually pulled out of my 401k to buy this machine. And you always hear the smart people tell you, don't do that. But you have these dreams and you take the risk and you're like, you know, I think I can make something happen with it. And again, it just kind of goes back. If the resources aren't there and you're having to pull from your 401k to make it happen, you may be biting off more than you can chew at the moment, you know? Which is why a lot of times now when anybody asks me about getting into roasting, my biggest advice is just have a budget. Create some type of financial plan to figure out exactly what you're going to need and about a time frame in which you're going to need it in. Because if you don't know how much you need to sell to break even, if you don't know how many bags you need to sell to break even, if you don't know how much all your cost is, it's going to be really hard to justify anything. I've always been one of those people that learned lessons in life the hard way. And I really can't imagine life going any other way going forward. You know, as sad as it is, but it is what it is.
What's up?
What you doing, dude?
No, not a lot.
Man, y'all were pretty lit the other night. Did y'all survive?
Yeah, barely, man. We suffered all day yesterday.
That happens. That happens. I've been there. I got a stupid question. Propane has been in a bottle for like 2 years that you haven't touched. It doesn't go bad, does it?
Not at all.
Cool.
It lasts forever. That's the beautiful thing about propane.
Alright, well there we go then. That was my question. I'm trying to get my roaster all set back up, so. Well, she never complains of the bad times or bad things he's done, Lord. Got the venting hooked up, I got the gas hooked up, propane's hooked up. wiped it all down pretty good. Hopefully, I'm gonna run like a little test batch through. Probably just gonna discard because kind of help clean the drum out a little bit, get some coffee in there. Probably gonna dump the first batch because honestly I haven't used it in about a year. I'm gonna go run some electricity real quick, get the old roaster hooked up, and we're gonna have a good old time. Also, I guess this is a pretty good time to go ahead and, you know, shout out my little podcast. I got it coming up. Hopefully by the end of July, we'll have everything rolling with it. If you want to check it out, I'm going to be starting it, like I said, around July. If you want to help support it, you can go to my Patreon page, which will be linked below. This dude's hilarious. He's going to make an entire video about biting off more than he can chew. And then he's going to pitch us a podcast that he's starting. Oh my gosh. Let's go ahead and get this sucker hooked up. I got a few more things to clean up on it, wipe up real quick, and then I think we'll be good to go, guys. I'm actually kind of getting excited. I don't have a laptop, so today we're just going kind of manual roast. I ain't gonna hook up no wires or anything. Let's go get the sucker hooked up. I've talked about it in some of my older videos, but this is the 110 to 220 converter. Basically what you do is you plug in a 110 cord, and what the output is 220, which runs this machine. A lot of people don't realize you can do that, but you can. So if you don't have 220 hook up to your machine, I think this converter was $60, $70, maybe 80. I mean, that was back in 2018, so add 20, 30 bucks onto it. You know what I mean, jelly bean? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, there we go, it works. So the whole issue back in the day was the igniter. My igniter switch went out. So basically when I pressed the button, the gas would flow, but there would be no strike. And if you lit it manually, there was a safety feature that basically killed it, you know, after a certain amount of time. You know, kind of safe, but back in the 80s and 90s, you would have been able to just roll with it, you know? Start clicking, turn some gas on. Still a little messy. Got the drum spinning. Ooh, goodness gracious, guys. Alright guys, so we got a little green coffee in there we just dropped. About 5 minutes in, coming up on about 300. Coffee's turning away from that yellowish color a little bit. Gotta hurry this one on up. Wife needs to go to the store, and I'm about to be dealing with 3 little children, so it's kind of hard to vlog with some kids around, you know what I mean? I know there's a few people who do, but I don't know how you do it. Woo! Got that little cinnamon look. Gosh. This is I may be a little bit too excited. It's almost therapeutic, you know? And maybe that's what I've been missing the most, is just the therapeutic properties of just roasting coffee. Starting here first crack, where we at? 9:56, woo! We're at 10 minutes right now, hitting first crack. Again, I'm not keeping this roast, so I'm not really, you know, watching it. So eventually, I'll probably start bagging some coffee. I'll probably just send it out to some patrons and stuff like that. You know, friends, family, at work, you know. I definitely want to get back into just steadily roasting on different machines. I got some buddies that I've kind of met, you know, through YouTube that live around here that are getting into coffee roasting. They have different machines. So one has the Akawa, and then he's getting a 25, I think he said, San Franciscan. So that video is going to be coming soon. I say soon, it could be months away. I don't really know, but you know, such is life. We're coming up on 400 degrees at 11:20. We're about a minute and a half after first crack. Ooh, it's looking good. Go ahead and cut the cooling tray off because it's pretty loud. I will do a full roast review on it here pretty soon. I want to get back in the swing of things. I want to get the computer so that way I can actually hook up, and I'll go through. I'll probably make some videos on Artisan and Cropster, and they actually have a dude from Germany. Was he from Germany? I went to look him up. He actually created his own program. He sent it to me and stuff, and I looked at it, and it looks pretty dang cool. I mean, the interface and all that, so we're going to try it. That'll be down the road, obviously, like everything. I'm going to let the machine cool down a little bit. I wasn't going to order any more green coffee until I got this roaster hooked back up, so I'm about to go to town on Sweet Maria's tonight. Go to town on Sweet Maria's, huh? A lot of gray area in that one. There's a script for a reason, Rob. You kind of need to stick to it, you know? You start going off the cuff and you're going to town on something the next night. Test out some new coffee, see what they got in stock. I don't really think you can get too excited over roasting, but I am more excited than I actually thought I was going to be. Well guys, I do truly appreciate y'all hanging out with me today as I got my little roaster hooked back up. Super stoked to finally be back in the game. You know, not just talking about it, but actually doing it, taking some action. So for me, one thing that I've kind of learned by biting way more off than I can chew in most situations in life is that I have to create systems in order to accomplish what I'm trying to do. With that being said, I may have to set up a whole area dedicated for one thing. That way, whenever I get there, I'm not having to set stuff up and this, that, and the other. It's like my studio area, like my roastery, have dedicated spaces for each, not trying to do both in one. That way everything's kind of competing for resources. So, and again, it just takes time, and you just got to basically figure things out on the fly, but then grow. That's kind of been one of my things. I feel like I am growing in the sense of what I'm learning, but I need to do better as far as scheduling my time and actually meeting the commitments that I put forth upon myself. So with that being said, I am going to start scaling back in other areas. I'm also taking on other things too, such as the podcast. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank y'all again for hanging out. I truly appreciate it. If you want to support the podcast, please go down and click on my Patreon down there. I truly appreciate that. If there's anything you need from me, hit me up in the comments. I'm always down there. I do try to answer every comment. The engagement that y'all give me helps the channel grow. So if you do like and comment and stuff like that, always helps. The more I learn, the more I'm just going to share with you. I really appreciate you guys, and like always, drink some good coffee, roast some good coffee, and have a good one. Love y'all. Peace out.
I'm feeling a change all around